Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ngayon, tayo ay magsisimula sa isa na namang video discussion and rationalization on questions related to Earth Science. Earth Science is one of the subjects sa mga science majors. And so, ready na ba ang lahat? If ready na, pakitaas nga ng mga ballpen. Sige daw. Very good. Sige, tara. Magsimula na tayo. Number 1. According to geologic timetable, the origin of man occurred in what particular era? A. Precambrian, B. Paleozoic, C. Mesozoic, or D. Cenozoic. So we're looking for the era when man first appeared. Since this is man, so ang ating dapat na piliin ay yung recent na time scale. And you know naman na ang geologic timetable ay nahahati sa iba't ibang scales of time. Pero this time, ang hinahanap lang natin yung era. So, sa apat na ito, may tatlong sikat na mga eras, Paleo, Meso, at saka Cenozoic. So yung PMC na tinatawag. And then also, kasama na rin ang Precambrian. Pero yung Precambrian kasi ay before pa na nagkaroon ng mga multicellular organisms dito sa mundo. So ang sagot dito ay letter D, Cenozoic. So sa Cenozoic, na unang nag-appear ang mga tao, Cenozoic ang pinaka-recent sa lahat ng periods na nasa mga choices. So I'm showing you here sa slide na to ang ating geologic timetable. So ang geologic timetable ay naka-arrange sa from oldest na nasa baba up to the most recent na nasa taas. And ang geologic timetable ay nahahati sa iba't ibang scales of time. Iyon ang pinaka malaki or pinaka inclusive sa lahat ng time scale. So yung mga eons ay, yung sa pinakauna, we have the Hadean, sunod naman ay Archean, then Proterozoic and Phanerozoic. Eons are further divided into eras. So yung pinakasikat na era ay ang Paleozoic, Mesozoic, at saka Cenozoic or yung PMC. And then yung eras naman ay nahahati sa mga periods. And yung pinakasikat na mga periods ay yung Precambrian mismo, pati na yung mga periods kung saan nagsimulang nag-appear ang isang particular na groups of animals or plants on Earth. So, iilan lang sa mga periods ay Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. Tatlong pinakasikat na period din na may kinalaman sa mga dinosaurs. And then yung recent ones ay Tertiary and Quaternary. So yung Cenozoic na tanong or sagot sa ating tanong natin ay kung kailan nag-evolve ang mga tao. So, yung era na yan ay naasa 1.6 million years ago ang pagitan ng mga periods within that era. Okay? Number 2. Which of the following characteristics determines if a celestial body is a planet? A. It revolves around the sun. B. It has warm temperature. C. It can maintain life. D. It has water and landforms. So, ang hinahanap natin ay characteristic na magsasabi ng isang bagay na nasa outer space or outer labas ng Earth, celestial body, ay isang planeta. So, ano ba dapat? Siya ay? Yes, correct. Letter A, it revolves around the sun. So, yan ang isa sa mga determining characteristics na magsasabi na isang celestial body or object ay isang planeta. Hindi sapat na may warm temperature lang siya kasi kung ito ay isa sa mga characteristics, then yung mga planets tulad ng Jovian planets at malalaking planets, magsisimula sa Jupiter papunta sa Neptune, sila naman ay mga walang warm temperature. Malalamig yung mga lugar na yon. So, B is not the answer. And as we know, nandito naman sa solar system, only Earth for now ang sinasabi ng mga scientists that can maintain life. At saka it has water and landforms. We know that some of the planets sa solar system ay walang water, walang visible or liquid na water, pati na walang land formations or possible na land formations. So ano-ano ba yung mga characteristics na magsasabi na isang planeta, na isang celestial body is a planet? Una, according to Astronomical Union noong 2006, kailangan it revolves around the sun, or yung ginamit nila na term, orbiting around the sun. It should orbit around the sun. So meaning, umiikot siya sa sun, no? Revolving. Number 2, It must have sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium shape. So more or less, ang tinutukoy sa number 2 ay dapat more or less spherical. It's nearly round or spherical ang isang celestial body. And lastly, dapat it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. Ibig sabihin nito, sa kanyang orbit ay walang mga nakaharang o mga malalapit na mga bato o mga lalapit na mga ibang celestial body. Dapat na-clear na niya yun because of its, most of the time, gravity. So ito yung mga criteria set by the International Astronomical Union or IAU na magdedetermine na isang celestial body ay isang planeta. 3. The brightness of a star is measured by its A. Parallax, B. Color index, C. Magnitude, or D. Intensity. So, ang brightness daw ng isang star ay nami-measure sa pamamagitan ng yes, magnitude. So, tandaan, kapag magnitude, it's all about brightness ng stars. And even not only stars, for as long as the celestial object na nagre-reflect or nag-i-emit ng kanyang sariling light. Sa letter A, parallax, mini-measure nito ang distance ng star because of deviation sa angle. We know naman that we are here on Earth and kapag may tinitingnan tayo ng isang celestial body, sometimes with angle yun kasi we are sa surface, no? Nandito tayo sa surface tapos ang isang celestial body ay malayo. Sometimes yung exact position ng isang celestial body ay hindi exactly in line sa ating vision. Sometimes may konting deviation sa angle. And that's why tawag dyan ng deviation. And if you want to measure the distance, we call that as parallax. Sa letter B naman is color index. Color index lang ay minimeasure niya ang kulay ng isang star. Ang color index ay related sa magnitude. Letter D, intensity. Intensity is the amount of light na iniimit na isang bagay. Number 4. Before we go to number 4, I'm showing you here yung mga magnitudes ng iba't ibang mga celestial objects. So for example, as you can see here sa ating scale, the more na negative ang value, the more na masyadong bright na isang celestial object. Kung positive naman, faint siya o hindi masyadong bright. We know that the sun is the brightest object sa sky. And for the moon, it's in between negative 15 and negative 10 magnitude. And Venus, since ito yung pinakamalapit na planet from Earth, it's negative 5. So if you talk about brightest na star, then it's the Sirius star, or yung dog star, Sirius star. Okay, and so on, so forth na makikita niyo dito sa diagram. 4. Alpha Centauri is considered as the closest star to our solar system, but still about 4.7 light years away from the Earth. If this star emits a beam of light, how long will it take for this light to reach the Earth? A. 4.7 years, B. 47 years, C. 470 years, or D. 4,700 years. So ang Alpha Centauri, alam naman natin siya ang pinakamalapit na star system from our solar system. And yung light daw ay nagta-travel, ang distance daw ng Alpha Centauri from us is 4.7 light years. We know naman ang light years, ito ay distance or sukat para sa distance ng mga bagay-bagay na nasa space. If this star emits a beam of light, so gaano daw kalayo? Well, since this is 4.7 light years, and ang tanong lang is how long, gaano daw katagal will it take yung light to reach the Earth? So since the word light years, it talks about yung distance na matatravel ng light in 1 year. And that's why the answer should be letter A. Again, ang distance na tina-travel ng light in a year. So kung isusukat natin yan, that's about 9.461 times 10 raised to 12 kilometers. Remember that ang light years ay nakadepende sa speed of light. And speed of light is 3 times 10 raised to 8 meters per second. So kapag sinabing 4.7 light years, it will take 4.7 years for light to reach a particular point sa space. Number 5. The point in the Earth's orbit when the Earth is nearest the Sun is called A. Apogee, B. Perigee, C. Aphelion, D. Perihelion. So, ang hinahanap natin is kung kailan daw palapit si Earth sa Sun. So, kapag Earth and Sun na relationship in terms of distance, so dapat ang apelido kay Helion because the Greek word for the Sun is the word Helios. So yung G naman talks about the relationship ng Earth at saka Moon in terms of distance. So kapag malayo, it's between the two. Saan sa alin sa dalawang to? Kapag malayo ay letter D, perihelion. Kapag malayo, malapit, sorry. Kapag malapit is perihelion, kapag malayo ay aphelion. Peri means around, at saka yung ap naman is away, layo. And letter A, apogee is when, katulad ng ap sa aphelion, farthest ang moon from Earth. Then sa perigee naman is pinakamalapit, nearest ang moon sa Earth. Okay. So this picture shows kung gaano kalayo yung distance every time na may perihelion and aphelion. January, nangyayaring perihelion, that's about 147.1 million kilometers. Tuwing July naman, ang peak ng aphelion, umaabot ng 152.1 million kilometers. What will happen if the Earth is not tilted? A. Still, there will be seasonal changes. B. The rotation on Earth will be shortened. C. There will be equal length of day and night in all parts of the Earth. Or D. More tropical disturbances will occur. So kapag hindi daw tilted yung Earth, anong mangyayari? So alam naman natin ang effect ng tilt ng Earth sa ating measure of time tsaka yung mga occurrences ng iba't ibang weather pattern and climate. So ang sagot ay letter C. There will be equal length of day and night in all parts of the Earth. Recall that axis ng Earth ay maabot sa 23.4 degrees ang tilt. And the tilt, siya ang reason kung bakit meron tayong uneven na daytime and nighttime in some places in the world. So lalo-lalo na kapag umaabot na sa Arctic Circle ang lugar or sa Antarctic Circle ang lugar. Because of the tilt, may mga panahon na 24-hour daytime ang either of the poles or 24-hour nighttime naman ang either of the pole. Umaabot pa yan ng 2 to 3 to 4 months. And kapag all daytime lang yan, tawag sa kanya is midnight sun in either of the pole. Kapag all night time naman, then ang tawag naman is polar night. Number 7, if the Arctic Circle experiences 24 hours of darkness, the sun is directly above the A. Tropic of Cancer, B. Tropic of Capricorn, C. Antarctic Circle, or D. Equator. Kapag ang Arctic Circle daw nakaka-experience ng 24 hours of darkness, kanina, we've just mentioned the term, and the term is, we call it as polar night. Kapag polar night daw sa Arctic Circle, saan daw yung sun? So, yung sun ay nasa, yes, Tropic of Capricorn. It cannot be sa Cancer, kasi ang Cancer naman nasa taas ng equator. And hindi rin Antarctic Circle. As makita natin kanina, na dito yung Antarctic Circle, kapag dodrawingan pa natin ng isang horizontal line here, remember that these are only imaginary lines. Kapag may isa pang line dito, we call that as Tropic of Capricorn. Dito naman yung Tropic of Cancer. Ito yung mismo ang dinidescribe sa number 7, ang picture na to. Kapag ang sun is directly nandito sa Tropic of Capricorn, so makakaranas ng polar night and midnight sun. Ang polar night sa north, midnight sun naman sa south. On December 21, when the sun is directly above Tropic of Capricorn at noon, it will not be visible from the Arctic Circle, and that's why total darkness ang mararanasan ng mga tao na nakatira malapit sa or nandun mismo sa Arctic Circle. 8. How many hours have elapsed if the Earth moved from 0 degrees to 120 degrees longitude? A. 4 hours, B. 6 hours, C. 8 hours, or D. 12 hours. So ilang oras na ba lahat kapag ang Earth daw ay nag-move na from 0 degrees? Ilang oras nang lumipas? 0 degrees to 120 degrees longitude. So remember that the Earth, let's assume that it's a perfect sphere. So one complete rotation would be equal to 360 degrees. So this is just a simple mathematics problem, no? So let's sagutan muna natin. The correct answer is letter C, 8 hours. So from 0 degrees to 120 degrees na longitude, 8 hours na ang ni lumagpas. Remember na pwede nating hatiin ang ating sphere by hours in terms of degrees. So if there are 360, kung ang total is 360 degrees ang isang rotation, So, sa 360 degrees, that's 24 hours already. 360 divided by 24, kada oras ay 15 degrees. So, 15 degrees longitude kada oras. So, ang sabi sa problem is 120 degrees ang inikot ng mundo. So, 120 divided by 15, kasi kada isang 15 ay katumbas ng 1 hour. So, that's about 8. So, 120 degrees longitude, ang equivalent niya sa oras ay 8 hours. So, kung nagtatanong kayo, paano ba nakuha natin ulit yung 15 degrees longitude is equal to 1 hour? So, we simply divided yung 360 na ikot ng mundo as equivalent to 24 hours. So, 360 divided by 24, that's 15. So, ibig sabihin ng kada 15 degrees na ikot ay katumbas sa 1 hour. So, kung 120 na ang naikot, we just simply divide it by 15 kasi ang 15 ay equivalent sa 1. So, that's about 8 hours. Number 9, Philippines happens to be at the umbra of the moon during eclipse. This means that the country experiences a blank. A. Total solar eclipse. B. Total lunar eclipse. C. Partial solar eclipse. Or D. Partial lunar eclipse. Ang Philippines daw ay nasa umbra ng moon. So, kapag umbra, you know naman na ang shadow, no? May dalawa. Yung darkest part ng shadow, yung areas, may dalawang areas. Kung yung darkest part ng shadow is called the umbra, yung somewhat lighter part ng shadow is called penumbra. So kapag nasa umbra or na-shoot talaga sa umbra ang isang lugar. So kapag ganun is nasa total yan. So it can be letter A or B. But then sabi dito umbra of the moon. So ang shadow ng moon ay papunta sa earth. So that means that is kapag ang moon ang nasa gitna. SME, sun, moon, earth. That is, ang sagot ay ulit, total solar eclipse. SME, sun, moon, earth. That's solar eclipse. Ang lunar eclipse naman ay sun, earth, moon. Ang nasa gitna naman si earth. So, ang shadow ng earth naman ang papunta sa moon. Kapag solar eclipse, ang shadow ng moon ang papunta sa earth. And then, bakit total? Kasi umbra yan. Kapag pinumbra, andun lang yan sa partial. Sa halimbawa ng lunar, this time, lunar. Kung lunar, that's again, sun, earth, moon. Nasa gitna si earth, SEM. So kapag ang moon is na-shoot sa umbra ng shadow ng earth, so that's total. Pero kapag andun lang sa penumbra, then that's partial lang. Number 10, a stable uranium atom has atomic number and weight of 92 and 238 respectively. It can be inferred that this atom has blank. A. 92 protons, 146 electrons, and 146 neutrons. B. 92 protons, 92 electrons, and 238 neutrons. C. 92 protons, 92 electrons, and 146 neutrons. D. 92 protons, 146 electrons, and 92 neutrons. So again, balikan natin yung konsepto natin ng atomic number and atomic weight and subatomic particles. So ano ba ulit ang ibig sabihin ng atomic number? It's the number of protons. And in ground state, sa mga elements, it is also equivalent to the number ng electrons. So when we say here sa ating STEM, 92 ang atomic number, so that means na 92 din supposedly ang protons. So dapat maghanap yan ng 92, no? Protons. So lahat naman na nasa option K, 92. And then, sabi natin kanina, in ground state, same lang din siya sa bilang ng electrons. So hanapin natin yung parehas na bilang ng electrons sa protons, so letter B at letter C. And then, what about yung atomic mass or atomic weight? So atomic weight is, kapag weight, because we're using weight here, ang weight is total weights ng proton at saka neutron. And yung variable na yan ay isang tinatawag natin continuous na variable. So, i-convert natin yan sa discrete na variable. So, yung atomic weight can be equated sa atomic, yung tinatawag na mass number. Mass number. So, if 238 is the mass number, so mass number is simply the number ng protons plus neutron. If you want to get the number of neutrons, ima-minus lang natin ang atomic weight o yung mass number tsaka atomic number. So, 238 minus 92, ang sagot ay letter C, 92 protons, 92 electrons, and 146 neutrons. 238 minus 92 is 146. So that's how you get the number of protons, electrons, and neutrons. Tandaan lang na ang protons at electrons ay parehas lang sa atomic number. Yung electrons, most of the time, parehas lang yan. Kung hindi ion, ang ating atom involved sa problem. And then 146, how did we get this number? So we simply subtract 238 and 92. And bakit natin sinubtract yan? Because we assume that this is the mass number. Atomic na weight kasi is continuous siya na variable. So it does not tell the number of subatomic particles. So para maging appropriate ating value, so kaya ginawa nating mass number ang atomic weight. Okay? Okay, number 11. Which of the following arrangements is in the correct order of the composition of lithosphere from the smallest to the largest components? A. Atoms, molecules, minerals, rocks, landforms. B. Landforms, rocks, minerals, molecules, atoms. C. Minerals, rocks, landforms, atoms, molecules. So we are looking for the correct order of the composition of the lithosphere from the very small up to the very large. When we say the lithosphere, this is the land where you're standing on. You're standing on a land called the lithosphere. The lithosphere is the uppermost part of the crust. The crust plus the uppermost mantle, that's equal to the word lithosphere. Now, we're looking for the smallest to largest. So right away, uunahin nyo dapat always, no? Kapag sinabing smallest to largest, look for the word element or atom first, and then check the successive or yung mga sunod-sunod na mga words after atoms or elements. And that's why I think wala namang ibang may item dito or choices dito na merong atom as the first choice or first na item. And the answer should be letter A. Yes. So we start from the most basic and tiniest part, and that's the atoms, diba? Atoms are the basic foundation of the universe, smallest part of every object. Then we go to a more complex and structured substance. For example, molecules. Molecules are chemical combinations of different elements or atoms, forming compounds. And then we have minerals, or the aggregate, or our combination of compounds. For example, silicate, combination of silicon and oxygen. And then these minerals may form aggregate, or combination of different minerals as one plus the dirt plus the dust and everything else. It can also include biological remains, so that would be equal to rocks. And then larger, or the largest among all of the items here, ay yung landforms. Landforms tulad ng mountains, hills, valleys, and every landform that you know. Number 12, arrange from top to bottom, which is the correct arrangement of the layers of the earth. So again, just like in number 11, arrangement na naman tayo. This time, this is from the top up to the bottom. Okay? A, inner core, crust, outer core, mantle. B, inner core, outer core, mantle or crust. C, mantle, crust, outer core, inner core. Or D, crust, mantle, outer core, inner core. The earth is divided into many layers. So from superficial to deep, that would be letter D. Crust at the topmost layer, then followed by mantle, then deeper than the mantle, outer core, and then at the center is the inner core. So this is the model showing you the layers of the earth, but this is not your typical layers of the earth consisting of 4 layers. So we have subdivided the crust, for example. We have the oceanic crust. This is the part of the crust where all of the oceans of our world, on this planet, for example, on a planet, or in the case of Earth, sa ating planeta, where that holds or carries all of the water in our ocean. And then we have continental crust. This is the part of the crust where we are standing on, part of the crust that forms the continent. And then the lithosphere. Lithosphere includes oceanic and continental crust, plus the uppermost part of the mantle. And next to the lithosphere, just beneath, next to the lithosphere, is asthenosphere, where most of the molten materials ejected by our volcanoes are coming from. And then we have the upper mantle, and then the lower mantle. As you know, the mantle is the thickest layer of the earth. And then we have the outer core, a fluid outer core, and a solid inner core. Okay, so again, we have the crust, the mantle, outer and inner core. If you want to specify the subdivisions of each of the layer, then you can refer to this picture. Oceanic, continental, then lithosphere, asthenosphere, upper mantle, lower, outer, and inner core. Number 13, which of the following is not a mineral? A, gold, B, quartz, C, pearl, or D, calcite. Now we're looking for a substance that is not a mineral. It's very important to know what a mineral is. We always use the term, but a few of us really know the definition of a mineral. Let's answer this first, and let's talk about what a mineral is. So which is not a mineral? The answer should be letter C, pearl. So what's a mineral? What are the defining characteristics of a mineral? Well, we can put the defining characteristics of a mineral into an acronym, CANDIS. CANDIS. First, it should be crystalline. In other words, it forms crystal. The atoms that compose the mineral should be systematically arranged, by order, and then it forms a crystal, in short. Then A is for abiogenic. It means that the mineral or the substance dapat hindi nanggaling sa isang nabubuhay. So in the case of pearl, it comes from mollusks, di ba? From clams. So abio meaning without life, genic meaning origin. So it doesn't have an origin, a living thing origin, I mean. Hindi dapat nanggaling sa isang nabubuhay. And then it should be naturally occurring. For letter N, naturally occurring, it means that hindi siya human-made, hindi siya artificial. It should be naturally occurring, hindi siya gawa ng tao. Then letter D is definite composition, meaning hindi siya nag-iiba-iba ng composition kasi may fixed siya na ratio ng mga elements. For example, in the case of silicate, um, may exact ratio ng silicon to oxygen. And if you want to add aluminum, then another story kasi may specific na ratio ang tatlong elements when they combine. And then it should be inorganic. That means hindi siya hydrocarbon, wala siyang carbon na naka-pair sa hydrogen. And lastly, it should be solid. It should be solid. Okay, gold, mayroong tinatawag, may bato or ore ang gold. And it can be called as a mineral because meron siya definite form, crystalline most of the time. Biogenic, hindi galing sa isang nabubuhay. It is naturally occurring, may definite composition, inorganic, and solid siya. Quartz is also a mineral. Quartz is silicate. So meron siyang crystal form, hindi siya nanggaling sa living thing, and hindi siya man-made, may definite composition, yung mga elements, at saka inorganic siya and solid siya. And calcite, or calcium carbonate, or rock na made of calcium carbonate, meron siyang crystal form, biogenic, hindi rin siya nanggaling sa mga nabubuhay, hindi siya product na nabubuhay, naturally occurring, meaning it's not artificial, may definite composition ng mga elements, hindi siya made of carbon, and then it is solid. Okay? Number 14. Which of the following can be used to determine if the 18-carat ring given to you by a friend is genuine or fake? So, anong gagawin daw? To know kung yung 18-carat na ring na binigay ng kaibigan mo ay totoo or peke. A. Determine its density or specific gravity. B. Rub it against a stone. C. Bite it. D. Heat it. So, what would you do kapag binigyan kayo ng isang singsing, 18 karat daw? Para malaman siya genuine or fake, all you have to do is, the simplest and easiest is to determine its density or specific gravity. Since in the past civilizations, the determination of purity of a substance has been a thing of fascination and wonder since una pang panahon, no? One classic story that we can think of is about Archimedes and the crown that was given to him and the exclamation, Eureka! Density is the ratio of a substance mass to its volume. It's one of the most reliable or easiest, I think, na concept to determine to measure the purity ng isang bagay. Archimedes even used this concept nung kaya nabanggit niya na sabi niyo Eureka. So that's one of the easiest. Kunin mo lang timbangan, kukuha ka lang ng timbangan, timbangin mo lang yung ring, and then solve for its volume, kunin din ang volume, then divide the mass to its volume, then you'll get the density. Specific gravity naman is just a comparison ng density ng isang bagay to the density of water. So, itong dalawang to, density and specific gravity, these are the most easiest ways to determine the purity ng isang bagay. Number 15. Before we go to number 15, a slide here showing you yung gold bars. Gold is an extremely dense mineral with a specific gravity of 9.2. It means that it's 9.2 times heavier than water. Another important concept thing about specific gravity is that it measures kung gaano siya kabigat kumpara sa water. We said it kanina, di ba? Kung 19.2 ang specific gravity, it means na mas mabigat siya ng 19.2 beses kesa sa tubig. Ang density naman ng gold is 19.32 grams per milliliter at 20 degrees Celsius. Of course, nag-iiba-iba kasi yung measurement and density. But anyway, most of the time kasi when we measure the density ng mga bagay, ay nasa room temperature lang tayo. And that's why most of the standard, yung mga table na may nagsushow ng mga standard densities ng mga bagay ay nasa 20 degrees Celsius. 15. fossils are most likely to be found in A. Sedimentary rocks, B. Igneous rocks, C. Metamorphic rocks, or D. Ocean floor. Saan daw makikita yung mga fossils? Fossils are remains of the past. It could be yung literal na remain o yung mga skeletal remains and even imprints. Now, saan siya usually nakikita? Makikita siya sa anong klaseng bato? We will eliminate letter D because yung tatlong bato naman ata ang common, no? Kung saan posible. But among the three, may isang bato talaga kung saan makikita natin ang mga fossils kadalasan. And the answer is letter A, sedimentary rocks. Yung mga sedimentary rock, ito yung mga bato na nabuo through sedimentation and compaction. Ito yung mga bato na mostly nabubuo sa mga bodies of water. So, napaka-importante ng sedimentary rocks para sa fossilization process. Over time, yung mga sediment nagkukumpak sila and they harden into sedimentary rocks. Isa pa dito is sa mga sedimentary rocks, sa pagbubuo ng sedimentary rocks, meron tinatawag na rapid burial. So kasabay ng pagbuo ng sedimentary rocks ay rapid burial ng mga namatay na mga hayop or mga plants. And then walang chance for complete decomposition, and that's why usually natatabunan sila yung mga remains from the elements katulad ng hangin, apoy o iba pang mga natural na mga phenomena. And that's why nabubuo sila sa sedimentary rocks. Unlike in igneous at metamorphic, naman kapag sinabing igneous, ito yung mga bato na na-form through melting, di ba? Mga bato na kadalasan makikita sa malapit sa mga bulkan. So, most likely, walang fossils dyan. Kasi pwede masunog ang mga fossils, walang matitira. Same is true, metamorphic rock. Kasi yung mga bato na metamorphic, nabubuo sila through metamorphosis. Yung parang sa mga insekto. I mean, nag-change ang form, structure, and chemical composition ng bato because of extreme heat and extreme pressure. Imagine kung nandun yung fossil. So, pwedeng masira ang fossil because of yung parang changes sa composition, structure ng bato, and even itsura ng bato throughout time. Ang difference lang between igneous at metamorphic, yung igneous ay nag-undergo ng melting, whereas yung metamorphic naman ay hindi nag-undergo ng melting. Number 16. What is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust? A. Oxygen, B. Nitrogen, C. Silicon, or D. Aluminum. So the most abundant element in Earth's crust the answer is letter A, oxygen. So oxygen, pati na nga sa mga nabubuhay. So katulad sa mga living things, oxygen is also the most abundant element sa mga bodies na nabubuhay, even in the cell. So here is a pie graph showing you the distribution or yung percentage ng mga elements in the Earth's crust. Blue one here is oxygen, 47%, ang dami. And then we have silicon, the second most abundant. And then we have aluminum, the third most abundant. Kaya nga, sometimes, yung combination na ng tatlo ay tinatawag natin aluminosilicate. Sila ang pinakamarami na klaseng mga elements na makikita sa ating Earth's crust. Number 17, what is the main reason why farmers add commercial fertilizers to the soil? So bakit naglalagay daw ng fertilizer ang mga magsasaka o mga farmers sa lupa? A, enhance the growth of the roots of the plants. B, add mineral content. C, speed up the decay of bacteria. D, activate the growth of earthworms. So I think the main reason naman talaga is bakit naglalagay sila ng fertilizer ay para madagdagan ng mineral ang lupa. So mostly naman naglalagay tayo kasi that's to improve the growth ng plants. But sa letter A, though merong enhancing the growth, but we are only specifying the roots here. Hindi naman target ng roots lang talaga ang paglalagay ng fertilizer because fertilizer, holistic yan, di ba? Ang target is holistic growth ng plants. Hindi lang yung root, kasama na yung mga stem, plants, leaf, flowers, and even the fruits. So in general, to add mineral sa lupa. Hindi to speed up the decay of bacteria because this is the decomposition process. And though may role din ng bacteria, kasi bacteria, they are the chemical recyclers or cyclers, kaya napupunta ulit sa lupa ang mga mineral because of bacteria. But sadly, most of the mga kalupaan dito sa Earth ay nakaka-experience ng tinatawag na desertification. So parang yung mineral content ng mga lupang yun ay nawawala at nauubos. And because naman sa ating hindi sustainable na practices when it comes to farming. Kaya, though may mineral pero kukunti lang masyado. So but with the help of decomposition, siguro yung mga, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na vermiculture, pati na yung mga pagdadagdag ng natural or organic na pataba tulad ng waste ng mga animals para may ma-decompose ng bacteria para masauli ng bacteria ang mineral o mga elements babalik sa lupa. Activate the growth of earthworms, katulad lang din siya sa letter C. ang thought. But adding fertilizer is for the mineral content. So, I'm showing you here a slide, no, na um, nung naglagay tayo ng mineral fertilizer sa lupa, nadagdagan natin ng mineral ang lupa. So, we call that process as mineralization. So, halimbawa, it could be through mineral, no? I mean, man-made na fertilizer, or it could be organic or natural. Again, same lang man kasi sila ng purpose to add mineral content, katulad ng the three most important elements for plants are nitrogen, phosphorus at saka potassium. So, tandaan nyo, NPK, most of the fertilizers na available sa mga stores, mga pa, yung pamilihan ng mga fertilizers ay may NPK. So, sometimes may dagdag na rin calcium, magnesium, and sulfur para sa chlorophyll and para sa cell wall ng plants. Number 18. Which of the following shows mechanical weathering in rocks? A. Rocks break when acids dissolve these rocks. B. Rocks become rusty and disintegrate when iron combines with oxygen. C. Rocks disintegrate when water between bedrocks freezes. D. Rocks break due to formation of stalagmites. So we're looking for mechanical weathering. First, ano ba yung tinatawag na weathering? Weathering is the process of rocks and minerals being broken down into smaller pieces. Proseso to na kung saan ang mga bato, pati na yung mga minerals na bumubuo sa mga bato, ay nabibreak, split sila into very small pieces. So when rocks are broken down by physical forces, halimbawa, ang tawag sa process na yun ay mechanical weathering. There's also a process kapag ang mga bato are broken down by chemical reactions. Yun ang tawag sa proseso na yun ay chemical weathering. So, since we're looking for mechanical, hanapin natin yung kung saan ang bato ay nabi-breakdown by physical force. Katulad ng letter, yes, tama ang sagot, letter C. When water between bedrock freezes. So, physical weathering yan or mechanical weathering kasi, when water freezes, ang tubig ay nag-expand. But kapag nagme-melt naman o nagtothaw ang water, nagko-contract yung tubig. So if this continues to happen for many, many times, for many, many years, the process of expansion and contraction of water inside the rock, for example, will cause the rock to break. Kaya this is physical or mechanical. Sa letter A naman, sa letter A, B, and saka D, ay tawag sa kanila chemical weathering. Again, when rocks are broken down by chemical reactions, yun ang chemical weathering. Katulad ng kapag ang tubig, when water dissolves minerals and rocks, katulad na lang sa yung it's not only water, but every kind of substance. When merong chemical reactions na nangyari sa bato, then that's chemical weathering, just like in letter A. Acid dissolving the rock is an example of chemical weathering. Letter B, rocks become rusty. Rust is a result of oxidation of iron. And when iron combines with oxygen, that's chemical reaction already. And letter D, rocks break due to formation of stalagmites. In a cave, di ba, merong mga nakahanging na mga bato or minerals, at saka may nasa lupa din ng mga bato as a result of a continuous drip ng minerals from yung nakahang na bato. So yung nakahang, ang tawag sa kanila stalagmite. Stalactite, at saka nasa bawah stalagmite. In order to know kung which between the two is the stalactite and stalagmite, just remember ng stalactite ay may letter C, which means ceiling, nasa taas. Parang mnemonics lang, or para mas madaling ma-remember. Stalactite, yung may C, nasa ceiling. At saka nasa baba, nasa ground, yung stalagmite. May G yung stalagmite. It stands for the first letter sa word na ground. So, when rocks break due to formation of stalagmites, so that is chemical reaction. Because, formation ng stalactite and stalagmite requires chemical reaction. Okay, let's go to number 19. Which of the following can transport more weathered materials? So in relation kanina sa word ng weathering, meaning breaking of rocks and minerals. So which can transport more weathered materials? A, larger, deeper stream. B, rapid, shallow stream. C, a slower, bigger stream. Or D, a wider, shallow stream. So what's a stream? It's another word for the word river. So stream. So alin daw dito sa mga characteristics ng mga rivers or streams ang mas may maraming madala na weathered materials o yung mga broken rocks and minerals? Of course, dapat mabilis, di ba? Rapid. So that's why letter B. Dapat rapid yan. Why rapid? Dapat mabilis, hindi slower. The reason na bakit rapid ang pinakaunang characteristic ng river na pwedeng maraming madala na weathered material ay yung mga rapid flowing water, sila ay may mas mataas na energy kumpara sa slow-moving water. Kaya marami silang pwedeng madala na weathered materials. Another thing is why shallow and not deeper. A shallow stream or yung mababaw na stream has less water to support than a deep stream. So mas kukunti lang ang tubig na sinusuportahan ng shallow stream. So this means that the water is not as deep and so there is less resistance to the movement of particles. Kasi kung mas malalim, mas maraming tubig, mas mataas ang resistance. So as a result, the particles are more likely to be lifted up and carried by the water. Kasi kung mas malalim, mataas ang tsansa na yung weathered material ay mapapasa ilalim lang din. Mapupunta sa the deepest part ng isang river. So, hindi siya pwedeng madala, matransport from one place to another kasi nga pwede siya na malunod lang mag-sink sa pinaka malalim na portion ng river. Kaya dapat mabilis, rapid flowing yung water kasi mataas ang energy at saka shallow lang din dapat ang stream para madaling matransport yung mga materials. Okay? So, that's the reason kung bakit yan ang sagot. Hindi yung letter A kasi pares yung deeper. Hindi yung letter C kasi pares din niya ang slower. Ang letter D, wider, shallow stream. Most of the time kasi kapag wide ang stream. Kapag wide ang stream, maraming spaces sa middle, di ba? So this sometimes sa middle kasi kay merong tinatawag na flow na hindi viscous or parang slow lang nasa gitna and then kadalasan yung material ay hihinto lang sa gitna at hindi madadala forward. So wider most of the time are slower na stream kumpara sa yung narrow na stream. Ang letter B ang pinaka magandang combination. Mas maganda kumpara sa letter D, mas reasonable na siya ang sagot kumpara sa letter D. Number 20, meteorology is a very important branch of earth science, without which we cannot be informed of the forthcoming A. Earthquake, B. Typhoon, C. Meteor shower, or D. Tsunami. So, meteorology, alam naman natin, pag-aaral patungkol sa ating atmosphere. Study ng atmosphere, everything else happening in the atmosphere, or anything that is happening sa atmosphere natin. For example, formation ng clouds, weather of the day, climate, typhoon, wind velocities, air pressure, lahat-lahat lang yan patungkol sa Earth's atmosphere or the air part ng ating mundo ay nasa meteorology. So if you want to study earthquake, that is nasa seismology na branch. Meteor shower, well, sometimes madi-discuss din sa meteorology kasi kapag papasok na yung meteor sa atmosphere, pwede na siyang ma-include as objects na nasa atmosphere. But most of the time, pinag-aaralan to sa astronomy. Then tsunami ay pag-aaralan usually sa tinatawag nating oceanography or hydrology. Number 21. Pag-asa classifies the country's weather disturbances as tropical depression, storm, typhoon, and super typhoon. What's the basis of classifying these disturbances? So meron tayong tatlong letters here. And then sa mga options, may mga combination or may isa lang. A, amount of rainfall. B, strength of the accompanying winds. C, origin of the formation of the disturbance. So, sa letter A only. Sa B, B din only. Sa C, combination ng A and B. Sa D, combination ng tatlo. Lahat sila. So, paano bang kinaklasify ng pag-asa ang weather disturbances natin into tropical depression, storm, typhoon, super typhoon? Siya ay nakadepende sa sa letter B lang. Strength of the accompanying winds. Hindi siya nakadepende sa kung gaano karami ang ulan na dinadala or kung saan nagsimula ang disturbance. Walang pag-asa, nakafocus lang sa tinatawag na strength ng hangin. Gaano ba kalakas? Tinatawag din natin yan as intensity. We call that intensity. Gaano ba kalakas ang hangin? So it could be in kilometers per hour or in knots or nautical miles per hour. So here, yung na-mention natin kanina, kapag 61 kilometers per hour or less than that is just a tropical depression. So kapag malakas-lakas na ng konti, that's tropical storm or TS. And then kapag mas malakas pa sa 88, that's severe tropical storm or STS. Kapag aabot na ng up to 220, typhoon. In the past, wala pa kasing super typhoon. Kaya nung nagkaroon na ng super typhoon tulad ng Haiyan or Yolanda, in-upgrade na natin or in-update na natin ang classification natin for tropical cyclones or weather disturbance. And we added super typhoon category. Ito yung isang weather disturbance na may intensity or lakas ng hangin na lagpas sa 220. Number 22, what do you call the prevailing wind, locally known as amihan, that occurs sometime between December to February? A, northeast monsoon, B, southwest monsoon, C, easterly winds, or D, trade winds. So kapag makarinig kayo ng amihan, in English, that is northeast monsoon or yung hangin na nanggagaling sa hilaga, tapos silangan na bahagi. So, ito namang southwest monsoon, ito yung tinatawag nating habagat o yung hangin na nanggagaling sa timog at nanggagaling sa kanluran. At yung dalawa, easterly winds or trade winds. Actually, easterly winds is an example ng trade wind. So, I'm showing you here a map kung saan may nagpapakita. It's showing you the three prevailing winds dito sa Pilipinas. One is amihan or northeast monsoon kasi ang hangin na nanggaling sa northeast. Saan ba yung northeast sa mapa? Northeast nanggaling sa taas, then right ng konti. Ang hangin na to is nanggagaling sa Siberia. And then yung isa is habagat or southwest kasi galing sa south and sa kanluran na bahagi or west. Ang hangin na to is nanggagaling sa Indian Ocean. And then yung tinatawag na hanging silangan or easterly wind is an example ng trade wind na nanggagaling sa silangan sa east. Ang hangin na to ay nabuo sa over or sa Pacific Ocean. Okay, number 33. The Philippines lies in the region where many volcanoes are active and fault lines are well pronounced and identified. So this region is known as blank. A. Ring of Fire, B. Wheel of Fire, C. Volcanic Rim, or D. Archipelagic Fault Line. So we know na kamakailan lang ang daming lindol sa Mindanao, di ba? And then that is because of the movement ng plates natin. And it's just normal. It's a normal occurrence here sa Pilipinas. Maraming bulkan at palagian ang lindol because we are in the Ring of Fire or Pacific Ring of Fire. So yung Pacific Ring of Fire ay actually boundary ng Pacific Plate. Boundary ng Pacific Plate against other plates na nasa mundo. Yun ang gumagalaw, yung boundary ng Pacific Plate. For example, dito sa Pilipinas, ang paggalaw ng Pacific Plate against the Philippine Plate. Yan ang usually cause or reason na mga lindol na nanggagaling or yung may epicenter na naa sa east part, katulad ng sa Surigao or sa may Oriental o sa may Bicol banda. Yan ang reason. And then, Pacific Plate kasi nasa Pacific Ocean. So, this icon or symbol sa map, it means a major active volcano. We can see here sa Philippines, maraming active volcanoes dito sa Indonesia, sa New Zealand, sa may Russia banda, sa may Alaska, the west coast ng Amerika, kasama na sa Mexico and sa west coast din ng South America, tulad ng nasa Chile. Okay? Number 24, the point on the Earth's surface directly above the center of origin of an earthquake is called blank. A. Focus, B. Epicenter, C. Fracture, or D. Fault. Yung point daw or place above the center of origin ng earthquake ay tinatawag na epicenter. Epi means, it's a Greek word that means above. Epicenter. So this word literally means above center. So this picture shows you yung epicenter, na itong kulay yellow, and then yung focus, kung saan nangyari talaga ang pag-move ng fault. So, yung fault is yung cracks na nasa lithosphere, nasa baba ng lupa, yung mga cracks or fault. But then, kapag may sudden movement, tsaka kung saan nagsimula ang paggalaw, we call that as focus or hypocenter. Whereas yung lugar, usually, ito yung nire-report natin tuwing may lindol, that's the epicenter or the point directly above the focus of an earthquake on Earth's surface. Okay? Number 25. Who is the father of meteorology? A. Aristotle, B. Luke Howard, C. Galileo Galilei, or D. Isaac Newton. So, sinong tinagurian na father of meteorology? Ang sagot dyan ay si Luke Howard. So, Luke Howard, marami siyang contribution. One of his contributions ay yung pagka-classify ng mga clouds. Di ba, now we know na merong, yung usual na classification natin ng clouds ay nakadepende sa altitude or gaano ka taas yung cloud from the ground at saka yung shape ng cloud. We know that there are 3 categories, yung usual na categories. So, meron pang iba, but usually, we classify clouds relative to the ground ng kanilang height ay yung low level, middle level, at saka high level clouds. And that is one of the works, or produkto ng works ni Luke Howard on meteorology. Kaya siya ang tinaguriang father of meteorology. Sa Aristotle naman, we know that though pwede din siyang tawagan as founder of meteorology, but hindi siya ang father. Founder kasi siyang ang unang nagsulat patungkol sa kung ano ang meteorology. Actually, the word meteorology, isa siya sa mga nagpauso sa kanyang work o sa kanyang libro. And si Galileo Galilei naman ang tinaguriang father of modern science according to Einstein. Si Galileo Galilei ay ang papel niya sa astronomy ay napaka-important because siya ang unang gumamit ng telescope para pag-observe ng moon, our own moon, at saka moons ng Jupiter, o yung tinatawag din natin Galilean moons in honor of Galileo. Then lastly, si Sir Isaac Newton, isa sa mga pinaka-importanteng scientists sa panahon ng scientific revolution. Kaya yung classical physics na tinatawag as branch of physics ay mostly yung tinatawag natin culmination ng trabaho ni Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, thank you very much. So yun na lahat-lahat ang ating short quiz sa Earth Science. I want you to remember yung mga terms na binanggit natin and paano natin nirasyo ang bawat item at saka pati na ang kanilang mga choices. So that's all. Salamat sa pakikinig.